Okay, so we have done the monohybrid crosses and we practiced. So I have just a couple more I want to show you, and then we have a project for this week. So the first one is called a test cross, and that's where, let's say you have two black bunnies, and you only get good money for purebred bunnies. So anything that's a mixed breed bunny, it doesn't do you a whole lot of good. So what you do is somebody gave you a black bunny, but you don't know its parentage. So you can see it's got the dominant phenotype, but you are unsure how to figure out what its genotype is. Okay, remember, phenotype is what it looks like. Genotype are the letters or the alleles that are represented. So how do you figure that out? Well, what you do is you're going to test cross. You're going to cross that dominant phenotype with a recessive phenotype, because we know that the recessive phenotype is little letter, little letter. So if you cross the two, here's what you should see. Okay, so this is our unknown bunny, and this down here is our known recessive bunny, the brown bunny. So if we cross them, we would expect to get a 50-50 result in our offspring. So it should be pretty close to 50%. If that happens, then we know that our dominant phenotype is heterozygous, or our genotype is heterozygous. So that's how we can figure it out. And if we cross it and we get all black babies, then we can assume that the unknown parent is a homozygous dominant. So that's called a test cross. That's how you can figure it out if you don't know. Just breed or cross in a Punnett square what you would expect against a homozygous recessive genotype. Okay, then we have something called incomplete dominance. Now, before, if you had dominance or a capital letter, you didn't see the recessive one at all. But in incomplete dominance, it's a little different. That's when both of the dominant phenotypes influence the intermediate or the heterozygote condition. So for instance, let's say we have flowers. We've got red flowers. We've got white flowers. Well, red is dominant. White is also dominant. That's what this little circle here, let me show you. This little circle right here, this little letter right here, oh, that was a 1. Anyways, that right there, that indicates that this is dominant, but that there's more than one version of it. So red is dominant, white is dominant. How do we figure out what they are if we cross them? Okay, so if we cross them, we're going to get pink flowers, because as you can see, this right here is heterozygous because it has one parent and one parent. And it really doesn't matter what order you write them in. But when you mix these two, red is dominant, white is dominant, we end up with pink flowers. Snapdragons do this all the time. Okay, so this is the kind of thing that we're talking about when we say incomplete dominance, because it's a blend of the two phenotypes. All right. Then we have something called codominance. Now we see this in human blood typing, and we are going to talk about multiple alleles in human blood typing later. But for today, so if you see codominance, what that means is like co-pilot, co-captain, they work together. So what you see is both of them in the heterozygote condition, not half and half like we did with the flowers, because, I mean, really, pink horses, not unless you're drinking, buddy. Sorry, my bad joke. Anyways, so here we see that again, red is dominant and white is dominant. So why did I use a C to do that? Well, the C is for color, because that's really what we're looking at here, is the color of the horse. That's really hard to do with a mouse, by the way. Okay, so what we're seeing here is the color of the horse. So C stands for color. Well, in horses, the red color is dominant, as is the white color. Well, since we don't have pink horses, the heterozygote condition is what we call roan. Roan is a mixture of both the red hairs and the white hairs. So we see them both equally. This horse is a roan horse. Okay, so I have got a practice sheet for you. It's just something for you to work on. Once we have down incomplete and complete dominance, we already know monohybrid crosses. We are going to do an activity where you get to create your own baby or a dragon. Now, these are 3D projects. Yes, you may draw them. Here, I think there's another paper. Let's see. Yeah. So we'll go back. Let's see. Actually, I'll go ahead and give it to you in a minute. But let me just explain what's going to happen. So after we do the practice sheet, I need you to give me that practice sheet or a picture of it or something so that I know you know how to do this stuff. Once you know how to do it, then we're going to do this activity. Wait, you got to see my cute little dragon. Isn't he adorable? All right, so here's the deal. You are going to look at I will post the worksheets for this later. I'm not posting them today. Probably Wednesday, I would imagine. And then what we'll do is I want you to start building me a baby or a dragon. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to flip a coin. You can do it all by yourself. You don't have to have anybody help you. But if you do have somebody help you, that makes it easier. One of you would be mom and one of you would be dad, and you're just going to flip those coins, and I'm going to give you a whole list of traits. You're going to come up with it yourself. Then I want you to build whatever you decided on out of household stuff and then post a picture of it so that you're going to either get a baby, macaroni noodles, you can use rocks and paint them blue for blue eyes. Yarn would work. Buttons, whatever you can find. This is going to be the coolest baby ever. Now, the dragon, I will post all the traits, so dragon wings and things. And if you wanted to cut it out and make a 3D model out of paper, you could do that too. It's always more fun to make it out of Play-Doh or clay. So I hope that you have those things accessible to you. But if you don't, it is not a big deal. There are leaves. There are rocks. I want you to think outside the box. Create a 3D model of a baby or a dragon. And we'll do that on Wednesday. All right, so that's where this one's going to end for today. I want you to be thinking about what you would like to do with your baby and your dragon and get that incomplete dominance and co-dominance practice paper back to me so I can make sure you know what you're doing before you get to the dragon and the baby. All right, see you later.